everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Last time we talked about the Jaeger-LeCoultre, the Reverso and the Masters. And today what I want to talk about are three of the other main types of models of watches. One is called the Polaris, the other is Geophysic, and the third is the Rendez-Vous, which is primarily a woman's watch. But let's start with the Polaris Automatic. Now, the pricing on the Polaris is, they also have a range, and the sort of the entry level range for it is $6,600. And you can find them on the gray market for about $1,000 less. And they have two crowns on them. One is for rotating the flanges on what's called the rehaut, and the other is a regular for winding and setting the time. This goes back, the Polaris is to some extent modeled after some years ago, the Memovox, and the Memovox had two crowns, one for winding and setting the alarm, and the other for winding and setting the time. And so it's an automatic watch. This one is stainless steel, and they have black and this also the blue dials on them, and they run around 41 millimeters. So as a sports watch, it's really interesting, I think. Having the rehaut is sort of like an internal bezel, and you can, by turning it, you can in effect have a second time zone. You'd have to get used to that, though. I mean, it doesn't advertise that, but you can do that. And it's the automatic movement is a pretty standard one for Jaeger-LeCoultre. Okay, the Polaris Memovox. This is sort of the Polaris series grows out of this from an earlier period, but the modern Polaris Memovox has the same for the rotating flange for the rehaut. It has that, but it's moved to the middle dial. The middle crown, the top crown, is for winding and setting the alarm and the date, whereas the bottom crown is for setting the time and winding. Now these are sort of a jump in price. In fact, double what the Polaris Automatic was. These are, the list price is $12,600. I found one on the gray market for $72.28. Wasn't hard to find that either. And I don't quite understand it, to be honest with you, what Jaeger-LeCoultre was thinking with either with the pricing nor the strap. It comes with a rubber strap. Now that's sort of for for somebody who is, out a sporting type. And I don't know. I think that they may have done better with a leather strap or a gaiter strap, a black leather strap, because I think it'd be a great office watch where you've got a little alarm that goes off to remind you of a meeting or one thing or another. And also, too, with the turning flange where you can move the rehaut around. There's something about it I fundamentally like, but at the same time, I'm wondering, boy, at price, that's a big leap in price from for going it. They have one model of the Memovox. So I'm not sure why they did that. It's a watch I like. I like the looks of it. It's a little bigger. It's 42 millimeters. And like I said, it's pretty steep price for the list price. And, like I said, they're on the gray market for almost half of that. Okay. Now, the Polaris Chronograph, now to me that's a great deal, I mean, comparatively speaking. Here you're using the caliber 751H. You got a stainless steel 42 millimeters chronograph, 30-minute counter, and a tachometer, plus two barrels. I like the two barrels in the for keeping the power reserve up there. This is really a very classic looking chronograph, and you have the pushers at 2 and 4 o'clock, and then in the middle, of course, you have your crown. And for 9750, a little on the steep side for what you can for other types of models, but not too bad. I mean, it's not too far off. And the one thing about it, when you have, if you're going to have an exhibition window, I think they ought to have a little bigger, because what's happening with this particular watch, they're hiding a big hunk of the movement. I like to see the movement as much as possible. Okay, so that's the Polaris Chronograph. They have other, I think there's a Master Chronograph too. So depending on sort of the model group you're in, you have some kind of different pricing. I have no idea how they figure those out. I wonder if they do sometimes. Okay, now this next one is the Geophysic. This next group of watches. The Geophysic was named after the International Geophysical Year in 1958. That's a long time ago, and the unique thing about this, they sort of see this as having the high horology movement, and they have most of them have what's called the true second or the jumping second. Some of them have a jumping hour as well, and they have something called a gyro lab, which is a unique type of balance wheel. It's with a non-circular configuration. The idea it reduces air friction. That's good. Okay, so the Geophysic is sort of like getting up there, much more special watch. The first one this is sort of the entry level for this level. You got a stainless steel. It's got a jumping hour and a true second or a jumping second on this. But this takes a little more. There's a little more to it when you have jumping seconds in terms of what the movement has to do. And this one has both jumping seconds and jumping hours. You can save quite a bit. You can save about $2,500 on the gray market on these. They're $9,100, but it wasn't hard to find one for $6,600 on the gray market. This is a caliber 770. Here you can see the thing I like about this one. You can see a lot more of the movement. You have a little bigger exhibition window on it, and this to me is a great daily. It's the kind of watch that is a great office watch. But I think this is a out on the town type of watch. I mean, it's a classic style and shape to it. It's not fat. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a thin watch, but it's not a fat watch. By the way, too, I forgot to talk about mine. This is my big Colpa Parmigiani Fleurier in blue. Okay, so let's look at the next, what else they got in Geophysic. Now, this is one that is a really interesting travel watch. Okay, it's called the Geophysic Universal Time, and I have it both with the stainless steel bracelet as well as the gator bracelet. And to get an idea, you're paying almost $2,000 more just for the stainless steel bracelet. Some people want that. That's fine. This particular watch is 41.6 millimeters. It's got the jumping hour, true second, then it's got a world time to it. And Again, you can find some good buys on the used market. This one I found was about $4,500, $4,300, we'll say, underneath uh, the the retail markets, 97.89, and it has it's a world timer with a map of the world, and depending on which one that you're going to have as your home time, or the one, let's say you live in Mexico and you set it to that, or you can set it to any number of the other ones as being your home or away time, either one of those. But I like this watch. I like travel watches because I like to travel. Okay, let's go on. This is yeah, 14,000 bucks, or 15,700. But again, you can get it for under that. You could probably negotiate it down from 9,789 to perhaps 8, 7 or 8, something like that. All right. Now here we have, this is to some a woman's line of watches called the Rendezvous, and this one is the Rendezvous Night and Day Medium. And again, one of the things I had mentioned last time that I liked about Jaeger-LeCoultre's is that they have these different sizes. They have small, medium, and I just think these come in small and medium. I don't think they come in large. And the medium is 34 millimeters and the small is 29 millimeters. I don't think, they may have a 36 millimeter for a large, but I don't remember seeing one. Now here, again, it's an automatic. The price difference, you can save about $1,000 on these on the gray market. The list price is $89.50. I found it on gray for $75.06. Now, what they have that's sort of cool on these is for a night and day. They got at nighttime, a little moon comes up, and then in the daytime, a little, the indicator turns to a sun. I find the night and day indicator really helpful when you have dual times. When you don't have dual time, the night and day is not sure how useful it is, but it's, there you can, instead of, maybe you're in a casino where they don't have watches, clocks, or windows, and you can tell whether it's day or night. It's an automatic, and it's got little diamonds at the top of the indexes and blued hands. It's a nice woman's watch. It has a nice Giloche in the middle of it. So it's a pretty cool watch. The thing I like about 34 millimeters for a woman's watch, so many of the old ones are these little bitty ones, and it's hard to tell the time. This one is a nice, clear, functional watch. It would work perfectly as an office watch, and it would work perfectly as out on a date watch. To me, that's a neat thing about it. Okay, let's take a look at what else they have. Now, this is called the Rendezvous Moon Medium, and it's just a moon phase. Instead of having the night and day, they have a moon phase, but they also have, around the bezel, they have all these diamonds. So this is a little fancier. This is more of a dress-up watch, perhaps, I don't know, more perhaps of an executive office watch as well. But this is a very nice watch. It has a geometric Giloche. It's an automatic, like all of them, and but it's stainless steel. To me, that's fine. A lot of people say, well, it should be white gold or platinum. I can't tell the difference. I've got all three, and I look at them, and they all look like steel, or they all look like platinum. Take your choice. So anyways, this is and again, you have the blued hands with a blue band on it. One of the things, I think you have a lot more options with band colors. I've seen some of these in red, and they're really very, very attractive looking. Okay, what I say for the last here are the Rendezvous Celestial and the Rendezvous night and day small in gold. Now, some of the I, the price on the moon phase, I think, is with the diamond bezel, is sort of getting up there. It's in stainless steel. Now, but that was in the medium size. Now, in the small size, this is a 29 millimeter. You can get it in 18 karat gold. And this is for the night and day. And you can see in this picture, I have the little sun up, and it's a little gold sun. And again, even though you have 29 millimeters, you got nice big letters. A very, very readable kind of watch. The newer ones, this one I think is last year's, a couple-year-old model that I found, and it has blued hands. The new ones have gold hands. It's exactly the same, except the hands are gold instead of blue. Either one I'm fine with. This one, though, you can see it's about a $4,000 savings on the gray market. Now, this is one of the things that will happen with a lot of Jaeger-LeCoultre, is that they have, every year they'll have different models. And so what you can find on the gray market is the older models. And it could just be a year old, but you can save a lot of money looking for those. Now, if you really want to get something neat, the Rendez-Vous Celestial, to me, that's a neat watch. It's on a lot of different levels. First of all, I think it's a gorgeous looking watch. Second of all, it's got these two crowns on it. One is for dialing the time and setting and dialing the time, and the other one is for setting and dialing, settling and winding the celestial. So you got the night sky going around with all the different constellations and so forth that you can look at. It's just very cool looking watch with the diamonds and the gold and so forth. $51,000. So I mean, that's a seriously expensive watch, but very interesting one. And it's a very, very unusual watch. It goes 1, 2, 3, and then the 4, 5, 6. But the other ones disappear. One of the interesting things about this is that Christian Vanderklaw, who's known for his astronomical watches, has the same thing. He just has the top numbers in, and then the bottom is either empty or he has some kind of celestial thing there. Okay, again, you can save about close to $10,000 on the gray market, which is, to me, is always a good idea. But if you're sort of in that neighborhood anyway, that may not mean as much to you as it does some of the rest of us. All right, well, there's quite a few. There's some other, I think the meter watch is another model. We talked about that just a little last time. But the main ones that you have for Jaeger-LeCoultre, you have the Polaris, you have the Geophysic, and then you have the Rendez-Vous. The Reverso and the Master, the ones we talked about last time, sort of make up the rest of the collection. And you've got a wide range. You've got size differences. To me, it's one of the most considerate brands around. I mean, when you're thinking about a watch, if you don't have a lot of money, there are things at the beginning level, I think, for Reversos in the low fives or even $4,000 and something for the smaller ones. And then at the higher end, we didn't really talk about the tourbillons and some of the ones that are sort of knock the prices even higher than the highest ones we looked at. But there's a big range in Jaeger-LeCoultre, and it's one that I know that's very popular with a lot of people, and I like them just fine. All right, well, love to hear what your comments are, what your thoughts. If you have one, I'd like to hear what you think of it and your experiences with Jaeger-LeCoultre. And also, this is an opportunity to subscribe if you'd like. Okay, well, till next Friday, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the Art and Science of Watch Collection.